episode of Tea Time with Key, where you guys get all the tea on how these entrepreneurs have been so successful with their businesses. If you haven't already, make sure you click the subscribe button and also click the notification bell so you can be notified every Tuesday at 7 p.m. so that you can be notified when it's time for you to get your tea for the week. And y'all need y'all tea for the week because y'all need to be inspired, okay? As always, today is going to be another great episode because I have another young black woman entrepreneur on the show, and she's going to be telling you guys all about her brand, Natural Boss Branding. Let's meet Kiara. So Kiara, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, I am Kiara Nelson. I am a rising senior at the illustrious North Carolina A&T. I am what would you call me? I guess I'm a creator. I consider myself a creator, a student, and an entrepreneur, and a lot of other things. I do all things, pretty much. What else? I own my graphic design business. We do brand styling and graphic design. So like I make logos, t-shirts, websites, like the whole shit. And then I kind of make YouTube videos still. But I mainly just post content on my Instagram where I get like sponsorships and stuff, and I work with like big brands and stuff. And that's pretty much it.
Okay, so you guys are about to meet Kiara during this whole episode, and I have something to tell you because I was like, I'm gonna wait to tell her on camera. So look, it ain't nothing. So you mentioned YouTube. I've been watching you on YouTube since before we got into college.
Oh, really?
So yes, I was watching you. I remember you did a dorm room haul when you first was going to Howard, and it was where we leaving 12th grade. So I remember you watching that video. So when you said, I remember when you first said you were coming to A&T, I was like, oh my God, I have to be her friend.
Yes.
So I never got the chance to tell her that, so I'm telling her on camera now. But yes, I used to love your YouTube. Well, I still do. I love your YouTube channel, and I loved how like vibrant you were in your videos and things like that. And I could see you were really like a go-getter. And clearly, you guys are about to see that through this episode with Natural Boss Branding. So let's get right into everything. So how did you start your brand?
Okay. So personal or business?
Both.
Okay. So personal, I started when I decided I was going to HBCU in high school. I went to school with a lot of white folks, and so I was like, I gotta get out of here. I need some black people in my life. So I was like, I'm gonna apply to A&T and Howard. And so from there, it kind of started because I started documenting my journey on YouTube because I was like, I'm gonna be far from home, so I want people like back at home to know what I'm doing without having to call and check in on me. So I started my YouTube channel, and then when I decided that I was going to Howard, I started making all these Howard-based videos, like dorm hauls, dorm tours of like each dorm. I was basically trying to help the next class decide like what they want to do at Howard. And so I became known as like the Howard YouTuber. Like that was literally when people would see me on campus, I'd be like, you do YouTube, right? And I'm like, yeah, I do. And so from there, it just kind of expanded. Like people started following me. People would hit me up like, hey, can you give me a tour of campus? I'm coming to town. Brands would reach out like, what's that brand? My Black is Beautiful. They reached out to me during our Yard Fest, which was like our homecoming. And they were looking for influencers to be there for the weekend, like to represent them. And so they hit me up because when you search Howard, like I'm one of the first people to pop up. And so they was like, hey, we'll pay you like $1,000 to just kind of represent us for the weekend. And I was like, okay. And that's when I first got introduced to like, I get paid for doing stuff like this. So I really kind of stepped up my game, and I was like, okay, I'm making some cool content and all this. And so that just kind of like, I worked with them, I worked with Victoria's Secret Pink, I worked with Nike, I worked with a lot of brands. And so that's like pretty much it for my personal brand. And then for my business brand, I started probably my sophomore year in college. I was like getting all these opportunities, people wanted to know like how. And so I was like, oh, like my resume's up to par, my social media looks good, all this, like I make my own stuff. And they're like, well, can you do that for me? And I was like, yeah, for a small fee. There you go. For a small fee of my time. And so people started coming to me like, throwing me their resumes, like, can you redo my resume, make it look more creative? Like, can you make me a cover letter? Can you make me a YouTube intro? All of this stuff. And I was just like, yeah. And so I sat down and came up with a price list for like pretty much the most requested services. And then it was pretty much word of mouth. For a while, people would come to me and be like, hey, I saw you did so-and-so stuff, can you do mine? And then after a while, I got enough money to start my own website, and so I built that. And it just kind of went up from there. And I thought I was talking about but yeah, so now I'm like, well, I was a sophomore again, so I'm pretty much about 2 years in the game now with that, and it's really big now.
Yes, I was say, yeah, you came to our campus, and it's so cool to me that you came to our campus and you came with such a presence. And you were really established. I know you've done so many panels and stuff like that. So I've been asking her to get on the show for man long now. It was me, I had to text you, but I would say you do so much, and it's so nice to see how you're influencing on the campus too. So what are like the pros and cons that you would say of being an influencer?
Woo! Okay. So I stopped calling myself an influencer because everybody started calling themselves influencers. And like for a while, like I would call myself one because I had influence on a specific group of people, which was like people who wanted to go either to an HBC or they wanted to go to Howard. So I had an influence, and then when I stopped doing my YouTube videos, I kind of stopped calling myself that because I was like, I don't have as much influence anymore. So I definitely could, like, I call myself a creator now.
I think you were
micro influencer / creator. So a lot of the pros is that there's definitely like money involved, like there's money in the game. Like getting these opportunities have helped me like pay rent, invest in my business and myself, and like buy my laptops and stuff like that. The con is definitely people seem to think that I don't know, like they have this sense of entitlement for your life.
Lord, I know.
And it's like when people would see me at Howard, they would be like, oh, like I would be cool by myself, and like people would just come up and like, oh my god, you're the YouTuber girl, and like that was it. Like there would be no conversation. It would just be like, oh my god, you're the YouTuber, can I take a picture? And then, like they would go, I was like, I didn't even catch your name.
Right.
And so after a while, I just didn't like it because I was like, I don't like being just the YouTuber girl. Like don't call me that. Like if you're gonna come up to me, like let's have a conversation. Like when people would say that, I would be like, yeah, what's your name? Like what are you doing? And they're like, oh, I do this and this. And I'm like, okay, let's get a conversation going. And so you just run next to me like, what's your name?
Right.
And it was just another pro I think is the networking opportunities. Definitely, I've met some amazing people and done some amazing things from being an influencer. Like one of my favorite things I mentioned earlier was that I got to work for Nike, just because of who I networked with. Like they reached out to people who knew me, and they were like, oh yeah, I have an amazing person for this opportunity. Like let me link you, and like now I have that Nike connection where it's also like, hey, like if you need something, like let us know. You did an amazing job and all of that. And then I don't try to be like pros and then cons. Right. So another con, what do you think? It's time consuming. With YouTube especially, like me having a business and me having a personal brand is very time consuming because like editing a YouTube video takes a while, especially when you have a lot of clips and stuff. And so just doing that is very time consuming. Like, and I'm not good with time management, so.
Girl, time management. College students, time management. We try.
We try. It's not. I'm not.
It's so much.
I'm the first to admit I suck.
No, for real. And when would you say that you started realizing like what you were doing was worth being paid for?
Ooh. It was definitely a trial and error type of thing because there was a point where somebody asked me to do something for them that took way longer than it should have, and I barely got paid. Like I think the first website I made for somebody, I charged them like $75 to make their whole site. And they was like, I need you to set up like 8 different pages and 8 different designs, and I want all these edits. And I sat down and I tracked the amount of time that I had spent on the site, and then divided it by how much I charged them. And I was like, man, I was like, this is child labor. Like, this is illegal. Like, we not know.
Yeah, child labor.
No, so definitely as soon as that happened, I was like, yeah, no, we gotta switch something up because it's not working.
Right.
So it was definitely at that point, and then seeing my impact from like making the stuff that I made. Like when I saw somebody like get an internship, like they got their dream internship offer from the resume that I designed from them. I was like, oh, like this is cool. I can get paid for this. Like I can start making some money.
So I know your client base is very diverse in terms of age range. So how do you maintain that level of professionalism when dealing with a lot of college students and even dealing with bigger brands and things like that?
So with college students, the ones who actually, because I'm at the point now where I can vet my clients, because I have a lot of people who want to work with me. So I only work with people who I know are serious, and you can tell that from the first point of contact. Like we were talking earlier, where they send me DMs and they're like, "Hey, do you make logos?" And it's like, you see my whole page shows what I make, my website shows what I make. So if you're not the type of person to take initiative, I'm probably not gonna work with you.
Right.
And so from that point, like I only work with professional people. Like if even like college students have professionalism too, so it's not really a problem. Like I work with a lot of college students, and the communication's fine. Like they're fine. I think I only had like one person come to me reckless, and I was like, I don't need this drama, so I just refunded her money. And I was like,
that's the best thing to do sometimes.
Like, because she was just doing the most. She was not communicating or nothing. And then when I tried to communicate, she came. I was like, you know what? Have a good day. Here's your money minus the deposit. That's very refundable. But then even with like the bigger brands, some people get beside themselves sometimes because they forget that you're not working for them and that you're working with them.
Right.
And so I have to remind people of that sometimes too. I'm like, hey, we're partners. Like, I'm not your employee. I can drop you at any moment, just like you can drop me. But I'm like, I know I'm professional and I know that I communicate and all that. So I'm like, I was trying to just you that's messing up. It's not right. So it's just, like I said, vetting my folks is like one of the big things that helps me just keep a sane head, because before it was like I would just take anybody. I'm like, yeah, I'll do logos, I'll do everything. But then I'll get like rappers, people, it's like, can you make my album cover? I'm like, sorry bro, that's not my last name. I can't refer you to somebody who does.
No fact. And have you ever wanted to like give up? And if so, what made you like hold on to everything?
A lot, actually. Like especially during like the harder parts of the semester, like a little bit towards finals, and like kind of like that period during fall semester too, like homecoming and stuff. Because I feel like I have a lot going on, but so I definitely want to give up because I'm like, okay, I got classes, like I got stuff to do. I can just be doing this, and then when I'm dealing with like a lot of work, I just get overwhelmed, so I just stop. But what keeps me going is the fact that like my business pays some of my bills,
right? And
eventually, like I fall back. Like it's like a cycle. I end up falling back in love with it. I'm like, oh, I love doing this. I don't know why I ever wanted to stop. But a lot of times I have to remind myself, like, you're doing this. You started this because you needed money on the side, and like now, like I don't like people telling me what to do. So I don't like working for other people. I'm like, you need money. You don't want a job. So you gotta do what you gotta do. And so that's the one that keeps me going, because I'm like, man, you can't be asking your parents for money all the time.
So I know that you had this year a boss brunch, and that was amazing that you even did that here, because for you, like I said, to just come here from a different school and to host such an amazing event like that, I mean, nobody's done that yet here, and there's so many bosses. So like, how did you plan that? Where did the idea come from? Like, how was the event?
Okay, so it was an idea. It was something that had been kind of in the back of my mind. I had said when I got here, I wanted to throw a big event. Like, I didn't know what it was like. When I got my acceptance letter to transfer here, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get here, I'm gonna throw a big event. I didn't know what though, but I was like, I want to educate the girls. Like, I want people to know how to do certain things. I want people to make their money on the side and all this. And so it was kind of sitting in the back of my head. I was like, I'm gonna do it like the year we graduated, 2020. And then I followed this girl named Jalen on Instagram, and she was hosting these box brunches, and I was like, oh, that's dope. And like she would host like one, like, I don't know how often it was, but it seemed like she was hosting multiple, and I was like, okay, that shouldn't be like that hard to host. If she's doing them all the time, I can do it.
Right.
So I sat down and I planned it out. I was like, I'm gonna call it a natural boss brunch, so it won't be like a straight copycat. But I want to call it just boss brunch, because a lot of people had that. And so I was like, I'm gonna brand it, and then this can be a thing that I do all the time. And so I sat down, I planned it all out. I was like, I know what I want to talk about. I know what I want them to have and walk away with. I made a workbook for them to have afterwards. And then it was kind of hard to plan it at first because I knew what I wanted and I knew where I wanted it to be. Mm-hmm. But then the first venue, they were not cooperating with me, and I think it's because and so like I submitted like this professional inquiry, like I had everything laid out, I had the details. I was like,
I know how professional you are, so I can imagine.
And so they called me and they was like, okay, well, like they didn't seem excited.
Right.
And I was like, okay, and she gave me the initial quote for the room that I wanted, and it was like way out of the park for me. So I was like, okay, well, how about we do this other room that y'all have available? And she was like, okay, I'm gonna call you back. Mm-hmm. I still ain't heard back from her. I followed up 2 times, still ain't heard back from her. So I was like, okay, forget them. Mm-hmm. Forget them. And so I went to the venue that I had at HQ Greensboro. They were like, I sent them my inquiries. They were amazing. They was like, we're so excited. Like, let me help you. And then I told them I was a student. Mm-hmm. And they were like, oh, you're perfect because we're trying to get more students to be involved with the venue, right? Because it's a co-working space. So they were like, you know, ANT has a lot of entrepreneurs, so like this, you'll be a great like liaison. Mm-hmm. And so like they helped me with the price, they helped me with the food, like caterers, they helped me set up. They're just amazing. So like if anybody's watching this, HQ Greensboro is the place to host an event. And from there it was like just my friends and all my supporters just helping, because they saw what I wanted to do. So everybody was reaching out like, hey, whatever you need, like let me know and I can help. Like I have 3 friends who came early that day to help me set up. And I was like, when we got there, I had everything like in my car. My mom, my boyfriend, and my sister helped me unload it. And then I got in the venue and it was like, you know, it was just empty because it was waiting on me to set it up. And I was like overwhelmed because I was like, I gotta get this stuff together like within an hour. I don't know. So I was kind of going crazy. I had like a panic attack. They was like, breathe. I'm like, well, it's not a lot. I need everything to be perfect. But that's when my girls came in. They helped set everything up. Like they really came in clutch. And then my clients even, her, she's in a sorority, so she had her line sister. She was DJ, and so the day before she hit me up like, hey, you probably need a DJ for the event, right? I was like, oh my god, I do. I didn't think about that. So she was like, okay, bet, I'm gonna send you her contact information. I was like, y'all are so, like, I love this. Right. So she came, she had all women music, like it was just, it's just seeing it all come together was just so great. And I was just like, yeah, I definitely gotta do this more often. So my goal with that is I want to travel with it, and I want to go to places that. I don't want to go to big cities though, but I want to go to places where they don't have it as much. Right. So like, for example, I had an example in my head. Oh my goodness. Look, this been me. It just left. It definitely just left.
I know they're like smaller towns and stuff that have a lot of entrepreneurs, but like they're not as close to the bigger cities where they have
exactly like example in Illinois where I'm from, there's Chicago. Of course, everybody knows Chicago. But then there are places like St. Louis is like 4.5, 5 hours from Chicago, and it's like it's that gap there where it's like St. Louis is a city, but it's not like one of those big map cities. It's kind of one of those afterthought cities, and I would like to have something there because I know so many people would travel for it, and so many people in the area would just benefit from it. And so just like the big small cities kind of like that, because I don't want to do every big city like everybody else is doing because it's already tackled. But we'll see.
Right. No, that would be great though, because I know that it was an amazing event. I saw so many good reviews, people tweeting about it on Twitter. I know I'm gonna be there next time, so I'll make sure I'm there.
We're planning that for next year.
Yes, it's gonna be another amazing event. And one of the last questions I have for you is, what would be some advice that you would give to someone that is aspiring to be a creative themselves?
Ooh, my advice that I always have is to just do it. Just do it, because when I first started, I tried to plan out everything. I tried to plan my growth. I tried to plan like, you know, I'm gonna make this much money.
Girl.
I tried to plan everything, and I was planning so much that it was setting me back because it's like I was scared to start. I guess I was scared to fail. Everybody says I was scared to succeed, but I was scared to fail because I was like, I'm gonna start this and ain't nobody gonna mess with me. But when I did, like I always tell people about my business, if I was if I was still planning it, I'd still be planning my business right now if I wouldn't have just started. So definitely just do it and don't worry about like what everybody else is doing, because it can be really easy to compare your journey to others. And you see what everybody doing, and you see their successes, and you see their growth, but like you don't know what happened behind closed doors. You don't know how many endless nights they've been up, like worried about like, oh, I'm not growing enough, I'm not making enough money. Like you just seeing their breakthroughs, and so definitely just kind of stay in your own lane. And even if like what you want to do is kind of yeah, even if you want to do it saturated, like do it anyways. Because I always use a Rihanna example. Like if Rihanna was like, oh, everybody already got makeup brands, I'm not gonna, like we wouldn't have Amazing Fenty foundation. So
we're the highlighter.
Okay.
Look, we wouldn't have.
I wouldn't have a popping red lip if it was. I don't have it on, but I would.
Look, but we know it'd be popping.
It'd be popping. So if she was like that, we wouldn't have all that. So just do what you gotta do and don't worry about anybody else.
Yes, and that was a great way to end off the episode. Thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna make sure I link all your information.
Thank you for having me
on your website, and definitely check out her brand, because you've done so. I've been watching like the logos and stuff you've done for everybody. I'm like, do I need another business right now? Like I need something, because these logos is bomb. So definitely make sure you guys check Kiara out, and thank you guys again for watching. See you next time.